Hello and welcome back to MacStories Unwind. This episode is sponsored by Hello Weather. I'm John Voorhees, and with me is Federico Fetici. Hey, Federico.
Hello, John. How are you?
I'm doing great, but my HomePods and one of my Apple TVs is not doing so great.
Oh no!
I've been
the original HomePod.
No, well, not so original. It was, I think, I kind of forget how many versions of the 4K not HomePod. I'm talking about start with the Apple TV, then we'll get to HomePods.
Okay.
The Apple TV that I don't think it's the current 4K version. I think it's one back from that. But I migrated that when I upgraded our living room to our guest room on the third floor, and it just doesn't get used very much. And I had automatic updates turned on, but they didn't work. I don't know why. Maybe because the Apple TV doesn't get used very often. It was on 17.1, I discovered. And I decided I was going to start using that guest room when we don't have people staying with us to start doing some Fitness Plus classes. So I went and I immediately ran into troubles with the Apple TV because 17.1, it was telling me all kinds of things about errors with AirPlay, which I wasn't trying to AirPlay anything. And when I tried to fix that and went into the audio settings, it would crash. It crashed the settings, and then I couldn't get into into any of the fitness classes. Again, I think because of the OS version, I tried to update, and it just refused to update because it was just too many steps back. It would just stay there and fail eventually. After a long time, like 10, 15 minutes of churning away. And so I tried resetting it. There's reset and update, and then there's just plain reset. Reset and update also didn't work because it was having trouble getting the servers to download the new version of tvOS. I just reset it to factory settings with no mirroring of any other TV, Apple TVs. So it was just the stock apps, and that worked. That got it going. I got it upgraded to 18.6 or whatever. I'm not sure what Apple TV is on. It's whatever it is, tvOS, the most recent version. And then I thought, well, I have this HomePod here. I'm going to connect the HomePod, and that'll be better sound than what comes out of this cheapo TV that I have up in the guest room. And so I connected one of those, and then I realized, I got another one that I really wasn't using that was just like tucked in a corner. So I thought, all right, I'll do a stereo pair. Then I ran into the trouble that HomePod minis are very slow to update, to download the new software. Yeah. Probably did not help that I was doing this on the day that 18.6 was released, so the servers were busy. On top of that, I had been using, because I have the Wi-Fi 7 routers, my phone had been moving between the MLO network and kind of like our base network. And the HomePods do not like that, because when a HomePod sets up, it sets up based on the network on which your iPhone is on. And so I ended up with a mixture of a stereo. What I was trying to do is create a stereo pair of two different HomePod minis that were on different networks. Not a good idea. So that ended up sending me down a rabbit hole of resetting up the HomePod minis from scratch using my Mac laptop, because you can plug them in and go through the Finder of all things, because iTunes, and resetting them from there. And it worked with one, and then the other one today is like, nope, not going to do it. I can't get the resources off the server. So probably an 18.6 thing. So I'm most of the way there. I've got the Apple TV working. I've got one HomePod. I think both the HomePods are working. They're not a stereo pair right now. I think they're playing the same content, each mono. But once I get that second HomePod updated and configured, I should be able to, and that's the other thing, is like once you set up something from scratch on HomePod Mini, it says configuring. You'll have more options in the settings soon. Last night meant going to bed and it not being done until sometime in the middle of the night. It took hours. And hours to configure this HomePod Mini. So I don't know. I'm a little frustrated with the setup process for both the Apple TV and the HomePod.
It sounds like you gotta throw away everything and just
start
all over with new devices.
Fix it with money. That's always an option. Yeah,
that's an option. I mean, that's an option. Especially so you have reset the network settings on the Apple TV already.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've got it all working pretty. I'm 99% of the way there.
Or get a better TV with better speakers.
Right. Well, so I have an old Vizio 1080p TV up there.
I mean, that should be fine though for Fitness Plus workouts.
It is, and it has, it has the fancy HDMI CEC, so I can actually run the audio straight to the speakers. So I think it'll be okay for that. And then I also thought I might take, I have a couple of those. Nintendo did those mini consoles where they took like the NES and the SNES. I thought I might hook those up there and make it a little retro gaming nook and see if I like doing that. If I find myself actually doing it at some point down the road, that will be actually a spot where I would have a proper gaming monitor or TV along with consoles. But for now, it's really there for Fitness Plus. But you know how these things snowballs. It's like, I want to do Fitness Plus.
Right.
I have to update my Apple TV. Well, what if I had HomePods? That would sound better when the music was coming through the, for the fitness classes. Then what if I put in a gaming, make this some kind of combined gaming rig? It just kind of one thing led to another.
Here's an idea. What if you just put in AirPods instead of using speakers?
Yeah, no, I should probably do that. That was my initial thought. I had these HomePods lying around and they were underutilized, so I thought I would make the most of them because I plan to do this mostly when I'm home alone. So it's not going to bother anybody that the classes are playing over the speakers, but I'll use my Beats Fitness Plus or whatever, Fit Plus headphones when I do it sometimes too. So
maybe you should do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, it's just the Apple TV and the HomePod are just frustrating, partly because they're so slow to set up. They just take so long, and I don't have the patience for it, and I don't think most average people would have the patience for it. This episode of MacStories Unwind is brought to you by Hello Weather, the exceptionally useful weather app for iOS that just got a big update. Hello Weather is a fantastic indie app that's been known for a long time for its simple, friendly, and easy-to-read design. And now that great design is paired with deeper, more sophisticated features that are really powerful. There are beautiful new summaries and visualizations for more than a dozen data points. Things like air quality, UV index, wind speed, and a whole lot more. Plus, you can customize all sorts of things like the icons, themes, and other things as well, making the app your very own. The new update has some long-standing feature gaps that have been filled as well. There are now push notifications, as well as improved weather radar maps, and a refreshed Apple Watch app with complications. Hello Weather supports more than a dozen different data providers. Apple Weather, the Weather Company, AccuWeather, and Forca are just a few of the many that it has that you can switch between or settle on one that works best for your area. Plus, Hello Weather respects your privacy. It has one of the best data collection policies in the entire category, and it doesn't track any user identifiable information, sell ads, or do anything like that. It's a customer-focused app thoughtfully designed and made with care. Learn more and download the app today at helloweather.com. Again, that URL is helloweather.com. By going there, you'll get a 7-day free trial to check it out and see how you like it. That's helloweather.com. Our thanks to Hello Weather for their support of MacStories Unwind.
Speaking of Apple TV, I guess this is actually quite a perfect topic for the Unplugged segment. Did I ever tell you that a couple of years ago I got an HDHomeRun? We talked about this, right? The HDHomeRun.
Oh yeah, we talked about this a little bit.
Yeah. So
I think on App Stories.
On App Store. So we hinted that I was going to do this, and I did it a couple of days ago. So I set up officially in my office. As you can tell here, there's a new cable. This is an antenna cable. This is an antenna cable that is going down, right? It's going down where I have this drawer. Inside, there's a bunch of cables, and there's the HDHomeRun is in there. It's wired with Ethernet. There's my Wi-Fi under here, which you cannot see. But the Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi 7 router is itself wired back to the living room in the other side of the house. So everything is wired here. and the HD home run is here, takes a TV signal from this antenna, and you set up the Apple TV. Like I mentioned, outside with the Channels app, and specifically, I found Channels. They have a couple of different apps. There's the proper Channels experience, which also requires a server app on macOS if you want to do recordings and schedules and things like that. Or you can just get the Channels for HDHomeRun from the App Store. It's a separate app. It's called Channels for HDHomeRun, and it's just for connecting to a TV tuner that you have from HDHomeRun at home. It scans your Wi-Fi network, finds an HD home run on the network, and that's all there is to it. It launches into the TV guide, so all you need to do is pick a channel and start watching, and it's pretty great.
So it doesn't have, I assume it doesn't have DVR functionality.
No,
but it's just live TV.
It's just live TV. We wanted to watch live TV, and and it works. So
this is over-the-air TV you're getting from that antenna, right? It's on your building. Yeah. Okay, that's pretty cool.
It's called digital TV in Italy. There was a whole transition from one particular type of TV signal a decade ago, and then again a few years ago, Italy upgraded everything to an HD signal, so it's 1080p over the air for free. All the major TV channels are.
Yeah, that's been happening in the U.S. too, although some of the channels are broadcasting in 4K now, I think, over the air.
Oh, nice. We don't have that. Here, I think it's called I think the standard in Italy is called DVB-T or something like that.
I think it's ATSC here. I have no idea what that stands for.
Yeah, it's a different one. Yeah. Okay.
But in any event, I've actually been thinking of retiring my HD home run only because I don't watch live TV very often. First of all, live TV is not very good in the United States. I don't think most of the network TV isn't very good. And
what is like available for free? Like CBS?
CBS, ABC, and NBC, and most of those things. But the thing is that a lot of those shows are available on some sort of streaming service. So it really depends what you have in terms of streaming. Like one of the things Jennifer used to like to watch Jeopardy a lot, and we would tape that and we would record that on the DVR functionality and watch that once in a while. But that's now just was added to Hulu, I think, or something. So there's very little. I mean, I suppose you could get like local news or national news that way is another way to do it, but we're not like big TV news watching people either. So I don't know. I may actually retire it because I have to have an actual antenna sitting in a window on the second floor, which doesn't look great. It's not a great look. So anyway, Federico, we have a pick today. We have a joint pick today. Yes. We have I'm not going to exaggerate. I'm going to say though that this is my favorite game of all time, I think.
Oh, wow.
I love this game so much. We're talking about Donkey Kong Bananza. It is such a good game. I absolutely love this game. It presses all my buttons.
You are farther away from compared to where I am in the game. I think I've played for a couple of hours. I got to the initial area, like the lagoon area.
Yeah.
And I played a bunch last night, and I found some of the hidden bananas, and I unlocked the water reservoir thing that goes one sub-layer down, but I still haven't gone because I feel like I want to explore the lagoon a little bit more. So, but saying that it's your favorite game of all time, that is high praise coming from you.
It is. I mean, I don't know. I'm just absolutely loving it. I'm on level 3 now, maybe halfway through level 3, because each level has kind of different components built into it. And so what do I love about this game? First of all, I just love the destruction. I love that like 3 out of the 4 face buttons are destruction buttons. They're for pounding down to the left, to the side, or up. And there's so many layers to the way that you can play this game. Sometimes it's fun just to grind and to dig into the rocks and find all of the little gold bits that you can, the little gems that you can collect, which ultimately you can exchange for powering up levels, because, various abilities and things, because there's a whole skill tree built into this game too. So it does reward you for taking your time, finding bananas, which are what you collect in order to upgrade your skills in the skill tree. But then you can also use all the gold that you collect to buy things. There's outfits, and the outfits aren't just cosmetic. They actually have they actually boost your abilities a little bit too. Like maybe 40% better at hitting the rocks. Like you can pound through the walls a lot faster, or a longer time in the Bonanza mode, which is a mode where you kind of become a giant, an even bigger giant gorilla with even better powers to defeat the bosses. It's got boss fights. It's got little side quests. It's really got everything in it, I think. To me, I find, I don't find the side quests annoying. They don't feel like work. I also don't feel like I have to grind, but I kind of enjoy grinding to find the gold bits. I think the balance here is really good, and there are aspects of it that remind me a lot of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, just in terms of the way the game is structured, but in a much more lighthearted, kind of fun, jumping around sort of way. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like I'm absolutely loving this game. I don't know if it's my favorite game of all time. I do think it's the best game Nintendo has, like best original game Nintendo has done in a while. I think it makes for a bigger impact than Mario Kart World. I think
it does.
I think there's a nice contrast between the fact that obviously you can tell the influences of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom on this game, right? And obviously Breath of the Wild, you could see the influence on Super Mario Odyssey and sort of two Nintendo teams maybe working together, sort of approaching the open world idea all the way back in 2017. And Donkey Kong Bananza is also the game from the Super Mario Odyssey team. So you got that shared DNA. But I think there's an interesting contrast between in how in Tears of the Kingdom, the whole idea was to build, and here, the whole idea is to destroy.
Yes, and there are also this interesting parallel of the layers. The verticality of the game is similar in a way to Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, and I mean the game looks fantastic, both on the Switch 2 internal display and when I was playing on my 27 4K OLED monitor. It just looks stunning, and the performance is great. It looks amazing. I think. I guess the one minor complaint, which is a silly thing, I wish, and maybe this is actually a skill that you will unlock at some point, but I wish I could just hold down the Y button to keep punching instead of repeatedly clicking the Y button to punch, like doing.
Yeah, if that's the skill, I haven't discovered it yet, but
I wish I could just. Yeah, I wish I could just have like an auto fire, like an auto punch mode where I can just hold down Y and keep punching, instead of having to click for every.
Because you might be able to do that can you do that with the Pro Controller by? Well,
I don't think you can.
I don't think they have.
Not with the Nintendo one. Maybe with the third-party one at some point.
Yeah,
you will be able to set like an auto fire mode for the button.
Yeah,
I feel like. It's a sort of game where, so obviously it's not open world in the sense of Zelda, where you can look at the horizon, you can say, I want to go there, and you will get there eventually. Here, it's open world, but it's very similar to Super Mario Odyssey, in that you have these very big, expansive worlds, but they're self-contained within each area, right? So you go, instead of traveling by, with a spaceship in Super Mario Odyssey, you're going to, from area to area. Here, you're going down. So you're traversing vertically, which is also reminiscent of the mechanic of the game itself, where you can dig, you can burrow underground and discover stuff. But even though it's not open world per se, these areas are big enough, and I can immediately tell in the lagoon, for example, that I have unlocked the ability to go down to another layer, but I don't want to go yet because I feel like in the area I still have stuff to discover, and that stuff to discover, that sort of feeds itself back into the idea of unlocking more skills and therefore making you more powerful and giving you more options. It's this virtuous cycle of exploration, discovery, getting yourself to be more powerful, and then continuing the exploration in a game that is fun, looks great, sounds fantastic, and I think I don't know, I feel like this maybe should have been the Switch 2 launch title. But I can understand why Nintendo went with Mario Kart. But still, in between Mario Kart and Donkey Kong, I think, we're pretty much set until the holidays. And then in the holidays, we'll have a Pokemon game. So
yeah, Yeah, we will. We will. I think that the difficulty curve on this game is really good too. It's not super hard. I mean, I think you can enjoy this game even if you're not like a hardcore gamer.
Yeah, but it's not easy like a Kirby game at the same time.
Right,
you know?
right. I mean, and you can kind of, you can kind of play it different ways. You can kind of play it a little easier or a little harder, I think. But I haven't had like too much trouble with the bosses yet. And part of that is because I am taking my time and leveling up my, my Donkey Kong character as I go. So he's in pretty good shape by the time I get to the bosses. I do feel bad sometimes destroying the world when I'm in one of the little villages or something of the little guys. And you're like, don't mind me. I'm going to make tunnels all underneath your village and find the gold.
Yeah. And it's fun because like there's so much hidden stuff between, the treasure maps and the treasure chests and the fossils. I'm still not sure what the fossils are supposed to be. I guess it's some kind of currency for later.
It is.
I'm also guessing. Okay, I'm also guessing that the odd rock that is now sitting on my shoulder that is actually somehow Pauline. Okay. Look, this game is incredible. It looks fantastic on a TV.
Oh, you got to get deeper into this game, Federico.
I'm playing it. I've been busy with a few things, but I have been playing for at least like 30 minutes every night before going to sleep, just because I want to play. If I could, I would just be playing this game right now, but I cannot. So
I'm the same way. I didn't play yesterday, but I played a fair amount over the weekend, and I just get lost in it. Another aspect of it I think that is really well done are the way the maps work. When you dig around, you find pieces of map, and as you expand your map, you can see more of the world, and you can actually see where the fossils and the bananas are by purchasing maps that have that kind of stuff in them. And so it makes it so it's not like hunting Korok seeds, let me put it that way. It's not just like one of these random, walk around until you find the Korok. You can find stuff a lot easier too. So I don't know. It's definitely right now, if I had to pick a game of the year right now, it would be this one. Absolutely. It's fantastic. So and I'm looking forward to playing this a lot. This is going to be my next month easily. It's playing this game.
This is the game of the summer for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It has a good summertime vibe to it too, I think, which is good. All right, Federico, I think that's it. I want to thank our sponsor again. We did it. Thank Hello Weather for sponsoring this episode of MacStories Unwind. You can find me and Federico over at MacStories.net. We are also on social media where Federico is at Viticci. That's VITICCI. And I'm at John Voorhees, JOHNVOORHWS. Talk to you next week, Federico.
Ciao, John.